Hi, so in this video we're going to start to take a look at visual timetables. In this video I'm just really going to have a little bit of chat about what visual timetables are, or even now and next boards, what sort of thing you might need to make a visual timetable. I'll touch a little bit on how we use them, but more why we use them, and then I'll do another video demonstrating how you could use them with a child. So visual timetables and now and next boards are really what they say. They're a visual aid to a child to help them understand what is either going to happen through the day, or what's happening now and what is going to happen next. For a lot of our children, having that visual clue as to what's happening, knowing that something is happening after the activity they're doing now, or just having that reassurance at each point when they come to transition from one thing to another in the day, and being able to know what it is. Visual timetables does not take away from spoken language, so we still talk to the child about what's coming up next and about what we're doing. The visual timetables are really just there as an additional support and cluing for the child as to what's happening, because some children do respond better to visual input and are very much visual learners. So having that visual support along with the spoken language is a real complementary way of building their language and their understanding of what's happening and what's happening around them. So what do you need for visual timetables? Now, these can be as simple or as complex as you want them to be, and you can make them as fancy or non-fancy as you want. Now, the examples that I've got here to show you, they are all printed PEX symbols, and they are all laminated, and I have used Velcro to stick them on, because generally when I'm making resources, that's what I would make. Now obviously not everybody is going to have access to all these things, so firstly, tackling the fact these are PEX pictures. Not all children will respond to or are using actual PEX pictures, and not all parents have access to these type of things. So first of all, I'd say don't think they have to be this. Your actual picture, it could be, and for a lot of children we start with actual pictures, so it might be an actual picture of their bed, an actual picture of their clothes, an actual picture of their dinner plate, an actual picture of the kitchen, something that you can easily do and go and take the photographs of what you need to build your timetable. I've laminated these just because it makes them a bit more durable. Again, if you don't have a laminator, they don't have to be laminated. I'm using mine with Velcro to make them come on and off easy. Again, you don't have to use Velcro. Simple blue tack will be fine. Or you could even, rather than having them like this, you might hole punch them and put them in a little folder and have, you know, sort of a flip chart of a timetable. We put them out like this in an actual visual timetable because it's easier for the child to see in one go what's coming up next. But sometimes you have to adapt to what you actually have, and you won't always have all of these things at home. So there are ways of adapting these, and you don't want you to feel that you have to have this very specific type of picture or lamination, anything like that. You know, it can be adapted to the best you can. These pictures might even be something you draw. You might even just quickly draw the picture, a kind of outline of what it is, you know. It really doesn't have to be massively sort of professional or complicated. So visual timetables, why we use them, I've touched on it a bit. It really is important for our children to understand what's going on around them and to understand key points in their day. It grounds them a lot to know that. And for a lot of our children, actually knowing that something's coming up next is really good, and it aids their communication no end. So you may use a visual timetable like this, where you're timetabling different parts of their day, or you might use something like this, where you're just timetabling a specific activity within the day. Or you might use something like this, what we call a now and a next board. So this is slightly less complex than an actual timetable, and you are literally just using, this is the one that's now, this is what we're doing next. So as you can see, all of mine just simply laminated. This one I've literally just written now and next on there, and I've just put on the top of this one, if you can see, Teddy's visual timetable. If you think that it's not long enough, it's really easy just to put another strip onto the bottom if you're wanting to make a bigger timetable. Again, these don't have to be on paper. This is easy because it means you can move it around wherever. I have known families that have had them on specific places in their house, you know, on the fridge or on a wall, and the child goes to the timetable. So again, it really is about adapting the whole visual timetable to what suits your family. But what you will need is you will need to have a list of the types of activities that you might do during the day or places that you might go, so that you can either draw the pictures or take the photographs or find the symbols for those things. So you'd be looking at things like getting up, going to bed, getting dressed, putting pajamas on, having your breakfast, lunch and dinner, perhaps going to the park, perhaps going to the shops. If there's specific family members that you visit regularly, you may want a photo of them, a photo or a picture for nursery, or a picture of the outside of nursery if they go to nursery. Again, you can make it even more complex as your child moves on, and you can have ones for brushing hair, brushing teeth, getting washed. You may want to be targeting those specific activities because they're the ones your child finds the most difficult. So you might want to do a little timetable around those activities. So you might want to, you know, have a picture of the face cloth, a picture of his toothbrush, a picture of the hairbrush. Really, it's, as I say, it can be as complex as you want. So initially, what you need to be thinking about before you start doing visual timetabling is you need to have a think about what activities you might want to put on that timetable and make a list of them so that you can think about what pictures or symbols you need. Think about how complex you're going to do it to start with. We'd always say you start simple and then build it up in its complexity. So it might just be a very simple timetable that you're looking at. Or you might just think, do you know what, I want to just start with the now and next board and move it on from there. But as I've explained, they're all quite easy to make and to adapt at home. So I hope that's given you a little bit of things to think about if you're thinking about having visual timetables or using now and next boards. Just a little bit of brief information about how you can make them, what they might look like, and what you might use them for. I'm going to do another video where I'm going to actually show you sort of visual timetables in practice. So I hope that helps as well. As always, you know, if you've got any videos or photos of your children using visual timetables, or if you want to send us a photo of the visual timetable or the now and next board that you've made for your child, that would be fantastic.